BB Shea's rap to wrap up the week coming up as well. And the big question, of course, BB Shea's playing hurt. He did not feel well last night. You better now?
Yeah, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. You're rapping in there today.
Yeah.
And your birthday is tomorrow. You're still going to be able to participate in all your birthdays?
Yeah, figures out something to do.
Okay, I hope so. He didn't even get his meatball sub or anything last night?
That was the most disappointing part. Was he was all about some meatball subs yesterday, and I like that they still had a celebration without him.
Oh, yeah.
We don't really need him for the cookie cake, do we? Smear his name right off of there.
Oh, just roll his sub up and put it in the fridge.
Yeah, that'll be all right. He'll be just fine. I was crying yesterday at this time because there was a story of a guy who was out walking with just a leash, just a dog's leash, but no dog at the end of the leash. And someone finally asked him about it. She'd seen him out there a few times. And he said, I just miss him. And he was talking about his dog who had died 9 months earlier. So she hugged him. They both cried. I cried. BB Shea said, bit performative, isn't it? Here's the... You talk about... You tell me if this is performative or not. This one made me cry, too. A Texas school teacher. School just started 3 days ago. And he has 17 and 18-year-olds. He teaches seniors English. And at a break, he goes to the teacher's lounge, turns camera to himself, and says, my students cannot read or write. They're 17 or 18 years old.
I literally broke down in the middle of class because I'm teaching seniors. We had 2 paragraphs to read, 1 sentence complete to write. I basically completed the sentence for them in the model. These are 17 and 18-year-old kids, and they couldn't do it. Our young black men, our young brown men, our young black girls, and our young brown girls oh, God.
It's a bit performative.
Just a little bit.
He's a little over the top.
Just a little bit.
He's a little over the top.
I feel like he's accurate, though.
I don't doubt it. That's alarming, isn't it? I mean, he cares that much, but...
that younger people cannot read, and I'm not surprised. I think there's a lot of teachers who probably said that.
You know, that clip is 46 seconds long. I told Biggie, it was originally 3 minutes. I said, cut it down. I don't want to hear this guy crying for 3 minutes. But... he did. He went on for 3 minutes, and he was like, they couldn't do anything. He said, how did they get to this point? You know, how did they get to me at age 18 and not being able to read?
You always hear that, and the question I have is, don't you go back to the teachers they had and say, were you truly, because you always hear the term, and I heard it when I was in school, oh, they're just moving that person along.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they just keep bumping them because they're tired of dealing with them.
I don't know if this is accurate or not, but they want like every student to succeed, no child left behind.
And that's, a lot of people blame No Child Left Behind because it just meant, and by the way, teachers, of course, are very heavily rated on
how they
end of year testing. Yeah. So it's like they teach them enough to get those test scores.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I still want to know how many students of his, if he's in an actual class of, let's say, 30 students, can they all really not read?
He said none of them.
Well, and
I mean, that's what he said.
I mean, that's shocking.
It was shocking.
This wouldn't be the sole reason, but these kids did miss time in school during COVID. I mean, they were learning from home a lot, which is not the same.
But if they're 18, they missed COVID time when they were 12. They should have been able to read
right, that's
at a decent
it's
level.
Not the sole reason.
You know, he also said, he's like, they can communicate, they can talk. He said, literally, I'm quoting, they can talk with their homies, but they can't write a paragraph. They can't read 2 pages that I assigned them. That's an alarming thing.
Yeah, that's why I think you go back to the teachers they had and just say, you know, was everyone truly just moved along to move them along?
You know what I saw the other day, too, about, this is about the spoken word and about, like, text. It's like we're slowly just getting rid of words. Like there are people, because we use emojis for everything. You know, we're just getting rid of having to type out or write out words because, you know, we don't have to do it anymore. You can just do little pictures.
True.
You know,
I believe that.
And they were saying, like, you know, we're writing way less than we used to. So maybe they're just not practiced at it.
And your assumption might be these kids that can't read and write won't go to college. They actually will go to college because I went to college with people like that. I mean, we had to peer review other people's papers.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be shocked at the people that are paying to go to college that cannot read and write.
Well, and we just had a stat not long ago that employers of, your early 20-somethings are having real struggles with them.
Oh, yeah.
That they can't do the job.
Mm-hmm.
They have a college degree, but they can't function and do the job they're hired for.
Well, and their parents go with them to the job interviews. And you hear that kind of stuff.
I blame a lot of my generation for that, though.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
Mollycoddling the kids.
Big time.
Helicopter parenting.
Yeah, which is weird because I don't think of my generation as being. We were the latchkey kids.
Yeah, I definitely was.
Yeah,
my Generation X was
and maybe it was just my parents, but I wasn't. I wasn't coddled. I was sent on my own.
That's
a lot.
what happens. So the millennials, and the middle generation, they'll say, "Well, my parents, who were boomers, they were hard on me, so I'm not going to be hard on my kids."
It gets softer and softer.
And so like the millennials are trying to do the opposite of what their parents did. So then all these kids are not getting, they're not getting disciplined. They're not having expectations.
Well, you're 100% right, and I think you want your kids to have it better than you did, and basically just do more for them. I can't tell you how many times. Now, this is my kids. It's totally just one family. But, like, my daughter's job is to take out the garbage, for instance. And many times, my daughter, Catherine, she forgets. She doesn't do it. And, you harp on her, like, got to take out the garbage. And then she breezes through, and she's got somewhere to be, and she doesn't do it. So eventually I have to do it for her. I'm just the one doing it.
Yeah.
And that is really, it's frustrating. Because if you want it done, I always say, if you want it done right, do it yourself. And basically,
that's a lot of
it's unfortunate, but that's
of course, what you could do is let the trash pile up, and then she's like,
well, "But it gets, but then that hurts me because I'm trying to
100%.
throw away."
But what if that had been you and your parents? Like, would they have ever done that, or would they have made you?
They
do
might
it?
have done it, but I would have gotten a real earful about it.
I'll tell you too. I don't know why, but like the idea, maybe, and I think it's just an idea. Like I was scared of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not anymore.
Like my father. It was like, it was, if I get in trouble, be like, wait till your father gets home.
Yeah, that's not anymore.
None of that happens, I guess, now, but that's how I was. So, like, I took out the trash because if I didn't, and I didn't, but it'd be like, take it out now or wait till your father gets home.
Well, and I'm guilty of this, is you become friends with instead of the parent. You don't want to.
There's a lot, I will say, there's a lot more of that. Like, my parents were great parents, but I never thought of them as my friends. They were my parents.
I think that is happening now. Is more friendly.
I didn't need them to be my friends.
Tim, you're commenting on the teachers and this one guy who was, he's basically, to paraphrase, my students are so dumb I'm crying. Go ahead.
Well, I see it on the internet too, where they try to get these kids to read stuff out in public, and they can't read words.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, I think there's very little mention. You were talking about it just now, but I think there's a lot of responsibility on the parents, and I think that the teachers get blamed for not teaching, but I don't think there's enough emphasis on the parents, instructing these kids from the time they're very young and following through, with the work that the teachers and the school system assigns.
I couldn't agree with you more.
That's exactly right. I mean, my mom was a teacher, and she taught, really, really young kids that would eventually learn how to read. She would make us go to the library and read books. If you're just reading at school, you're not going to get it.
It's not really emphasized like it used to be.
Well, I'm going to tell you, my nieces, my mom takes them to the library all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the librarian has made comments to my mom like, it's nice to see you bringing young kids in here and having them check out books and learn to read.
Well, I told you my son thought that Alaska and Hawaii were right next to Arizona because that's where they are on the map with a big old circle around them.
And as I've stated, you and your wife lay in bed at night sometimes, look to the ceiling and just say, was it us?
Well, they don't teach the geography,
No, they don't.
They do not.
They don't do that kind of stuff.
And that's the thing is you're not going to get it all at school. And that's why where the parents come in.
Well, believe you me, I got him a puzzle to put together with all the states. They put them together and learn it. Stan, you're
How
talking.
old's your boy? 3?
Higher.
Yeah.
Let's play a high-low on this.
How old my boy is for this puzzle.
Stan, you're talking about the students in Texas that the guy is crying over. Go ahead.
Yeah, my wife was a teacher in central Pennsylvania, and she taught high school. And now I don't want to put the spin on, but it was a predominantly black school. And she said that a lot of the kids in high school could not read or write hardly at all, like at elementary school levels. And I almost couldn't believe it. I'm like, there's no way. And she gave me some examples, and I couldn't believe it.
It is hard to believe. And he said it's a predominantly black and brown high school. And you heard him say they were failing them, you know?
I hate that. Like, why is that a race
I know.
thing?
Why is that? It's because they should be getting the same education that anybody else is in a public school. I'm shocked by it, too. I'm totally with you, Stan. It's stunning. You know, my wife's a teacher, and remember that she had a student that couldn't tell time on an analog clock.
Yeah.
Because she only looks at her phone. So this student, I told this once before, this student would show up to class every day. It was after lunch. She'd show up like 10 minutes early. And after a week, my wife's like, why are you so early for this class? And she goes, well, I just wander down here knowing that it's about that time. I can't read the clock. And and they can't have their phones. And there's no bell. Now, to go from one class to the other, there's a bell, like a tardy bell, but after lunch, there is not one. So she's had to start wandering in.
My God.
She cannot read an analog clock. Michael, you're talking about students and parents and what they're learning. Go ahead.
Well, I was a former teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I would send notes home, emails, everything to students' parents saying, your child is failing. We need to talk. We need to talk. Nothing until they find out the kid is not going to pass. Then they come in, and it's our fault.
Yeah. Then they're mad. Listen, I think that's I think a lot of teachers say that same thing. Yeah, they do. That's exactly right.
Well, and now the parents come and try to fight the teachers, too.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, that's the other thing. I feel like teachers now are truly at times like under attack.
100%
Because the parents are like, well, you're the teacher, you need to teach them. It's like, well, you're the parent, you need to parent them. My parents never believed me.
No,
I mean, they never believed me. And I feel like now parents overly believe the child.
Well, you're right about that. But let me ask you this about what he was saying where, they don't come in. Could we cut the parents a little slack? Because, in 1960s, mom was home, dad was, but because of the economy now, they both have to work. They burning the candle on both ends. It's hard for them to be as involved as they used to.
No, I cut them less slack because you're more available now.
Yeah, they're emailing.
Emails.
They're emailing them.
That. I mean, it used to be, you might try to get a letter sent home or a phone call. Now, text messaging, emailing.
There's no way that the kid didn't deliver the letter.
Well, I get all that, but what I'm saying is, like you were saying a minute ago, that it's up to the parents at home to help them, read or what. But if I say as a parent, I don't have time. I'm working 10 hours a day. So is my wife.
I think there's a lot of that. Yeah.
But both my parents worked full time, and they found a way to make it work. And they weren't always able to do stuff with me, but they would give me resources.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, you really, because once you have a child, that is your responsibility now to make sure that the kid can read by 18. Yes, of course, the teacher. You've got to partner with the teacher. You have to be available for that. Some people just shirk their duties. I mean, some people just, especially fathers. I hate to say, and a lot of people have said fathers in that community do not care like they should. I mean, that's been a narrative for a long time too. David, you're talking about geography being taught in school. Listen, full disclosure, my son doesn't have one idea, and he's a senior at the University of Tennessee. He'll be doing your logistics in a year.
You don't need to know geography for that.
Nah.
If you thought the package was late now.
Why would he need to know where Hawaii is? He's doing logistics.
Who cares?
I don't understand why it's taking so long.
He sent it to Arizona. David, you're talking about geography now specifically. Go ahead.
Yes, actually, I went to Appalachian and was there while you were a student there as well at Appalachian and majored in geography. And the reason that they don't teach geography like they used to, is because they decided that they were studying the Nazis and what they did, and the Nazis were using geography to explain why they were the master race. And they said, well, we can't have this. We got to cut out geography because it's teaching why racism.
No, that cannot.
I don't know about that.
You're kidding. If that is a fact, that is ridiculous.
That sounds.
Well, the Nazis. Once again, I'm aligned with the Nazis.
The Nazis ruin everything, man.
How many times have I been aligned with the Nazis by accident on this?
It sounds like we're saying if we don't know where anything is, they're so stupid they won't find us.
Well, it took us a while.
Yeah.
It took us a while to get into the war.
I don't know about that.
That is, how many times on this program have I said,
I'm scared to Google, did the Nazis ruin geography, but I want to.
I will say many times, well, we need a uniform for that. Oh, like the Nazis?
Yeah, he loves a uniform.
But that's it. You know, he does bring up a good point because say I became president and they said that Iran said something, I'd be like, well, I can't bomb them because I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
You think the current president knows? He's probably trying to fight Iraq.
Yeah.
You don't know. Flounder, you're talking about geography as well. Go ahead.
Yes, guys, I'm a retired teacher and taught for close to 30 years, and I saw this happen over the years, and every new group of sixth graders that I would get, one of the first days I would give them a blank printout on a sheet of paper, I'm old school, of the continental United States. And I would say, okay, kids, I want you to circle approximately where you think your great state of North Carolina is. Less than 10% had any clue where North Carolina is in the continental United States.
That is just inexcusable to me. I mean, we knew that. But fourth grade, we knew. I knew where the states. I know them all to this day. I can look at a map and tell you every. Listen, I'm shocked by that.
We had a globe.
Of course, yes.
Every classroom had a globe.
I had a puzzle, seriously, that I loved putting
to
together.
Put together. Yeah.
Thank you, Flounder. I hate that. I hate it. But I'll tell you this. You know, my wife, the kids, and I, Ben and Catherine, we play Pictionary sometimes. Like one of the words last week was Dallas. So I draw the United States. My son says football, pancake. I draw the United States. Then I draw Texas. And he's like, he's just like, he has no idea. Then I draw, you know, the little dot where Dallas would be. Nothing. You know what? I got it.
A star.
I put a star. I put a star on a football helmet. He's like, oh, Dallas.
What you know.
My God.
It's lucky it wasn't an all draw.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you that. Yeah. It's lucky it wasn't an all draw. Scott, you're talking about teachers. This poor teacher was crying because his seniors that he just got a couple of days ago cannot read or write. Go ahead.
So I worked for the court system with kids for 30 years. Okay. You got to think of this, though. You're like Rachel said, her mom was a teacher.
Yeah.
So when the work goes home, her mom can help. What about the kids now that are going home and their parents can't read and write? How do they get that extra help?
Right. What's going to happen because the kids from 30 years ago can't read and write? You know, it's going to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
You know, that's right. Thank God AI is coming along to do everything for us. You know,
Thank goodness.
You know, you're right about that, Scott. Man, sometimes you look at this kind of stuff and you are kind of afraid for the future. But I bet every generation has said that since, you know, parents in the 60s were like, I weep for the future.
Well,
Your parents were probably worried
they
about you.
were. They were.
Well, when I was in school, I'd hear, oh, they just move kids along.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, you know, ever since middle school is, they just move the problems along.
By the way, I think that teacher, I like the fact that he's so invested in it. You know, he's so upset he's crying.
And male teachers, we need male teachers, especially with high school students. Like those are the most valuable teachers, and no man wants to be a teacher.
But I tell you, I think a lot of teachers now would say they don't feel supported by their school system.
Exactly.
My best friend was a male teacher. He just quit after 10 years.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Because it was just a bad
the school
situation.
systems.
Yeah.
But
School
they're so
systems don't
essential.
take care
They
of
don't
teachers.
support.
Yeah.
But
That's why you see like the public school teachers leaving and going to private schools.
Definitely. Well, I really like that guy. I thought that was really cool that he did that. BB Shea called it performative, but whatever.
He calls everything performative.
That's what he does. Speaking of performing,
yeah.
Are you ready for your rap?
I guess so.
Take notes on this. You're about to get a lesson on rapping from BB Shea. If you missed anything on this program during the entire week, he's going to rap it for you right now.
All right. Happy birthday to me. We completed the week, it was a show of half measures. Kelly once spent money on a calf stretcher. If you didn't laugh, you better, he's a ha-ha man. Pissed me off with his takes about La La Land. Yeah, Rachel's never seen it, so the plot is unknown. She would watch it if Nick would ever leave her alone. That's the love of her life, she would have no other. Meanwhile, Kelly's trying to go out with her brother. Yeah, Rachel's getting married and she wants no gifts, she wants money. Everything else she can thrift. She doesn't want anything new for the house, but I hear there's good deals meals on a blow-up couch. Kelly's son really knows, yes, it all looks bleak. He'll be on the floor in a sleeping bag all week. His son's decisions have been real informative. I'm not gonna lie, it seems a bit performative. At least he's got a place and not out on the pavement. Meanwhile, Kelly's got leaking in his basement. He's been slumming and it's really too sad. Right now, Biggie's place doesn't sound all that bad. Biggie's been here all week, a break from reality. Little did we know he's on the path of totality, a term for the eclipse. It happened the other day. We see it all the time when Biggie steps in the way. Yeah, eclipses are dumb and they're gone in a flash. Hyped up by white people just like Johnny Cash. Someone finally conquered the stairway to 7. Hippie Chris is coming in. He answered all the questions. When it comes to winners, he's the first on the list. On the wall of fame, which totally exists. The weekend is here and we're out the door. Biggie's got a weekend of watching Squatter Wars.
Wow.
Even from today.
From today's
Got it in
program.
there.
I'm always so impressed when you add something from the Friday show to the wrap. I'm impressed.